Welcome to Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station with your host, Ross Darrell Feingold. Today, as we get to the end of the summer and the beginning of the school year, we're joined by not one but two very special guests, our interns, because Taipei Broadcasting Station does have interns, very competitive internship program, right? Very difficult to be selected as the intern.
Yep.
And our guests today are Yuan. Yuan, say hello.
Hi everyone, I'm Yuan. I'm come from Taipei, National Taipei University of Arts.
Thank you, Yuan. And Pei, say hello.
Hello, I'm Pei Ying, and I study in University of Toronto.
University of Toronto, which is obviously very far away from Taipei. So we're going to talk about how you wound up back in Taiwan when you should be in Toronto. But before we talk about university experiences, where in Taiwan do you guys come from? Yuan?
I come from Taipei, New Taipei City, Sanchong.
Okay, so you've always been around the big city.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a city girl.
Okay, and how about you, Pei?
I live in New Taipei City, but I studied in Canada, but because of virus, so I came back to Taiwan.
So you both have some experience studying abroad as well. Yuan, when you were a child,
Yeah.
which was like yesterday, because you're still pretty young anyway,
Thank you.
you spent some time living overseas. Where else did you live?
I live in the States for around 6 years during my kindergarten time. And I also been to China for exchange students though.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that when we fast forward up to your university years. What about you, Pei? Did you grow up only in Taiwan, or did you live abroad when you were a child as well?
No, I only live in Taiwan, but I study abroad on the age of 17, I think.
In high school?
In high school.
So that's really interesting, because how does studying abroad when you were in high school differ from studying overseas for university? What's the big differences?
I think Taiwanese students.
Now be nice, remember, everyone's listening.
Yeah, sure.
Your high school teachers might be listening, Pei,
Yeah.
so say nice things about them too.
Yeah, I know. Because Taiwanese students, they are forced to study some certain subject that are planned by government. But compared to Canada, we can choose whatever we interested in.
Even in high school?
Yeah, we have
Wow.
more flexibility to choose whatever we want. Yeah. I think it's the biggest difference.
So from that experience, you just said to yourself, when I graduate high school, I definitely want to study in university overseas. Was that because you had such a great time studying abroad when you were 17, Pei?
Yeah, I think I got the great time. But in high school, I don't really know about what I'm going to study in university. But I don't know. My parents just told me go to university and study
Abroad.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were very supportive.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Yuan? Was it always a plan to spend some time overseas? Because you studied for part of your university in China. So you always wanted to go overseas?
Actually, no. That kind of thought it's until when I was freshman.
Okay.
And I got a special relationship over that time. So he's over there, and also there's some major that I wanted to study about. So that's the reason I wanted to go. Not always I wanted to go.
Oh, well, that's an honest reason. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So speaking of being honest, Yuan, let's just go back a couple of years to when you were applying for university, because we have some audience who are not from Taiwan, some foreigners, so they're not so familiar with applying to enter university in Taiwan. Tell us about that process. How did you wind up at the school you got into? Did you really want to go somewhere else, and this is the only one you got into, or this was your first choice? What was that like, applying to university?
It's kind of like the States. I remember they got a SAT, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And we also had the same SAT, and in Chinese we call it 学测. So we had to pass the test, and you got a score, and depends which school you want to go. More higher, you got more choices, but lower, choices is less.
And where were you in this? You were high, low? Be honest.
I think I'm a high college, so I got a high course.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to pick which university you wanted to go.
Yeah, and also we got two ways. One, you need to interview.
Mm-hmm.
Professors, students, one-on-one, and they will talk to you and choose are you okay with the school? Are you suitable or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I have been through around that process.
And what about picking your major? It was up to you, or you had a limited choice based on your...
Yeah, That's an interesting question too, because
Well, that's why I'm the host. I ask interesting questions.
yeah, actually,
That's why you're the guest, not the host, Yuan.
Yeah, actually, I've been to 2 schools. My first school is in Kaohsiung, and that apartment it's called Entertainment Businessman. Is that right? Entertainment Management. Yeah.
Not
That's right.
man. What are you thinking about, guys?
That's been a long time. And when I go there for 1 year, that's not the thing that I like, because they teach me how to like manage things, and gambling. That's a main course, like poker.
Well, that's why a lot of young Taiwanese go to
Gambling.
work in casinos in Macau and Singapore.
Yeah, that's true. They all go there when they graduate, but that's not at one. So I prepared to transfer school, so I come back to Taipei.
How about you, Pei? When you were in high school, because you spent your 3rd year of high school overseas, then you come back to finish high school. Is that what happened?
No.
Or you just finished high school in Canada?
I finished high school in Canada and applied the university in Canada as well.
And was that difficult because you were a foreign student, or you just had to give them all the stuff from your Canadian high school and that was good enough to get admitted?
Yeah, we see like GPA, and university will see your voluntary experience and part-time job experience. So they are really like, those experiences are really important for them, because those are like certain requirements, I think.
They like to look at stuff besides just grades and exam scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little different approach. Yeah, so how many universities did you apply to in Canada? Or did you apply to any in America too, or only in Canada?
Yeah, only in Canada, because like if you want to apply for United States university, you have to take SAT, I think.
Yeah.
But in Canada, international students have to take like IELTS. A certain certificate have to prove your English language.
Yeah. So, why did you pick the university that you chose, University of Toronto?
Because it's famous.
That's it? Was it because of a specific department, what you wanted to major, or you just said, I'm going to get, as long as I get into a famous school, that's where I'm going to go?
Yeah, because University of Toronto is the top university in Canada. But if you see like my degree, journalism, they have other choice, like better choice you can choose for university. But University of Toronto, their journalism is not the best one.
And how about you, Yuan? You're now majoring in something artsy. Tell us about that.
My major?
Yeah, well, you're at an arts university. You must be majoring in something artsy.
Yeah, that's true. But I think my major is totally different than other arts department, because my major is radio and television, and that's why the reason I'm here. We have learned a lot about radios, how to make it, a show, also TV shows, and how to like host a TV. Kind of like that.
Okay. And is this, sorry to ask this, but is it difficult? And paying, you got to write a lot of stuff for a journalism major. What do you do in your classes, Yuan? You just go record a TV show and that's your whole class?
Like that is in front of the scenes, but before you go on the scenes, that you get back scenes work to stuff to do. Like we need to like write a show. How do you say that in English?
Write a script?
Like a script, yeah, totally. And we need to think about why we wanted to make this and how we do it. And also we had films to make.
Well, of course, the world's most famous director went to your university. Some guy named Leon.
Yeah, definitely. And but I've never seen him before.
He doesn't come hang out at campus?
Probably no.
He's a bit too busy in Hollywood?
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe a couple of years ago, he went back. And we make films, so I've been a director before and producer too. And I think all of this and how to learn about teamwork. Teamwork is very important stuff.
Yeah. So who's better at teamwork? Taiwanese students or Chinese students? No, don't answer that. I'm just kidding. But we were just talking. We're kind of joking, but is the writing that you have to do as a journalism major, is that something that comes easy for you, or is it difficult because you grew up here in Taiwan? Maybe English is not your first language. Tell us about being able to do all the writing that you have to do as a journalism student.
Actually, writing for me is really hard. It's really difficult because English is my second language. But like university, they have some assistants for international students. So they will like look over your report, look over your essays, and give you some suggestions.
But if they're not, if the person who's doing that is not studying journalism, they might not understand what your professors want for a journalism assignment, right? How would they know the writing style?
Okay, I got like, it's quite complicated.
Yes.
Is it that?
Yes,
Is that right?
it is.
Okay, it's complicated for my situation because in my first 2 years in university, I'm studying in University of Toronto. But in my third year of university, they offered us a chance, like we have to go to college. So they gave us different experience. University will like teach you theoretical things, but college, they will give you work experience. So when I was in University of Toronto, they only force you to write a report. So you have to know the format, like Mla Apa. So you don't have to.
Not everyone knows what Mla Apa is.
Yeah.
Could you explain that?
Me too. What's that mean?
What's that mean? That means certain format of essays. Yeah.
Like for like a newspaper article, for example.
Yeah.
Some kind of, it's style guides.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But it's like, it's a style guide for report and essays. But in college, they will teach you how journalistic writing it is. But university just let you write report and essays. So it's just quite different, I think.
And which one comes easier to you?
Both are difficult.
Oh, yeah. That's a very honest answer. What about did they teach you how to ask questions to people and do interviews?
Yeah, in college.
Yeah?
Only in college.
Okay, if there's one special rule about interviewing people, what do they tell you? Like, what's the most important thing?
Be polite.
Be polite?
And
But if you're too polite, you won't get a good answer.
so you have to avoid you ask the close questions, you know?
Nothing personal.
Yeah, nothing personal. Just answer what you want to get.
Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of asking a personal question, and I'll ask you a personal question, Paige.
Okay.
What do international students from Taiwan like you, when they're studying in Toronto, what do they like to do outside of class when you're not studying how to be a journalist?
We go shopping.
Well, that's another honest answer. Hey, hopefully your parents are able to support this habit of yours.
But for me, for my personal interests, I really enjoy cooking and go to Taiwanese supermarket.
Yay.
Yeah, because I really miss traditional Taiwanese traditional food. And you can get some ingredient there, like special ingredients.
So you spend a lot of your free time cooking when you're in Toronto. What about going outside the city, seeing the countryside?
If I got time, I will take a road trip maybe.
Well, Canada is obviously a very large country. There are a lot of places to go.
I went to Montreal before.
Oh, Montreal's a beautiful city.
And Vancouver. Yeah, Vancouver.
Okay.
But only 2 cities.
Okay, and Yuan, don't tell us about Taipei, since we live in Taipei. Tell us about your time in Beijing.
Okay.
What do young students, whether they're from Taiwan or they're from China, what do students do in Beijing when they're not in class? What do they do for fun?
Actually, we still like college students. So, except learning, we also travel a lot too. Like Peggy. Peggy went a lot of places, so did I. I went to the Great Wall.
Well, that's not that far from Beijing. Come on. Okay. That's a few hours by car.
Okay, the farthest places I went, it's Xinjiang.
Oh, that's quite far.
Camel. And the reason I go, I have a classmate, she is like boxing host. And she's asked me like, hey Yuan, I have this job, do you want to go with me? You can be my assistant, come have fun. I said, like, sure, definitely. So I went there and I saw a lot of magnificent views and camels. It's very awesome. It's very great.
But what about in Beijing? When you're not traveling outside of Beijing, what about in Beijing? What do you do for fun as university students?
Yeah, for me, I think they took me to some of interesting places that Taiwan we don't have it, like local restaurant or local buildings, something that museums though. And we like to watch the exhibitions, painting stuff.
Well, a lot of people who do spend time in China often do say that Beijing is the cultural capital.
Yeah.
Shanghai is like the business capital.
True.
Yeah. You think you'd go back there to study again?
I would love to, but since the coronavirus.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about the virus in a little bit. But Peyton, you've done some volunteer work with an organization called the Human Society. Now we're all humans, so what is the Human Society?
This is an organization that for children who has some difficulty when they're reading or they are speaking. So this is an organization that they have lots of animals. So children will read some books to animals. So animals won't like give you any feedbacks or any arguments or any suggestions. So those children will more confident to read or speak or like talk to people.
And you do this after school or on the weekends? How do you fit it into your busy schedule in Toronto?
Tickle eyes.
Busy schedule.
Because I know you're studying very hard all the time when you're not in class.
Yeah.
You don't sound sure. You don't sound so sure. What about you, Yuan? You also do some volunteer work at the your artsy university. You're some kind of ambassador. What do you do?
I have like helpful hearts, kind hearts. So every foreigners who's come to our school, I always volunteer to take care of them, show them around Taiwan, not just food and traveling, and also the kindness heart in Taiwan too.
Well, on that happy note, we're going to take a short break. You're listening to the Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station with our special guest, the interns. Welcome back to Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station with your host, Ross Darrell Feigold, and our special guests, two guests, our interns this summer, Yuan.
Hi.
And Pei.
Hello.
Yuan?
Yeah?
You're at the Arts University, and you're studying radio and television. It makes perfect sense. It almost sounds too good to be true that you're doing an internship at this radio station. How did it happen? How did you become an intern here?
Wow. Coming here to be an intern, it's a dream come true.
The boss isn't here. You don't have to say that.
No, it's really true. Because I wanted to know more about radio stuff. Because when you come here, you can learn more and not just from school learning. It's totally different places. So here you can experience more about like true stuff and real stuff and how to handle it with problems come to.
And how about you, Pei? Why did you want to intern at a radio station?
Because when
And don't say you couldn't find anything else to do.
Maybe that's it.
Don't be that honest.
reason. Okay, so I just mentioned that in college I experienced a lot like TV, editing, and radio as well. And I found out radio is my favorite. So I want to learn more about that. And Taipei Broadcasting Station actually give me a lot. Like, we have done multiple projects.
Give us some examples.
Yeah,
And you prepare some different examples too, because we'll ask you afterwards.
Okay.
like radio advertisement and radio
We're public
show.
radio. We don't do advertising.
Like, the radio
A government
advertisement, isn't it?
Oh, you'd be like a public service
Yeah,
announcement.
yeah,
Okay. We don't do
yeah.
commercial advertising.
Yeah,
right?
no
We're public radio.
Yeah. So you can learn like how to plan a show and become a host from top to bottom. And I think I learned a lot of operation things and practical skills. So I really enjoy the time here.
Again, the boss isn't here. You don't have to say those things.
This is
But you're being honest. Okay, that's good. How about you, Yuan? What are some specific projects you've worked on during the summer internship?
Okay. Peggy say a lot of things, but one thing that I wanted to talk about is a YouTube channel, YouTube film. They want us to make like 30 2 about 10 minutes YouTube film, and we made 3 of them. One is about the little children's camp about broadcasting station. It's just ended like a few weeks ago, and the other 2 we made we interview the DJs here.
I wasn't interviewed for this.
Wait, we haven't met yet. Yeah, next time.
Okay, next time. So you finished these projects. Are you happy with the finished work, or is it something that you're going to show other people and say, this is what I did during my internship?
Yeah, I'm so proud of it.
Yeah.
And I asked a lot about DJs and teachers. They're very helpful, and I'm very thankful about it.
How about you, Peyton? Did you do anything this summer that you'll be able to use for school next year?
Those projects will be my profile in the future.
Excellent. And speaking of school next year, or next semester, that's a good time for us to talk about the coronavirus. Yes.
Oh.
We're going to start with you, Peyton, because you've had a very challenging experience. In all seriousness, no joke. Unlike Yuen, who is safely here in Taiwan.
Thank God.
Peyton, you were in Toronto. The semester had started, and then the virus happens. Take us through it. What did the school tell the students? How did the situation change, and then how did you wind up returning to Taiwan and continuing the semester? Take us through all of this. What happened?
Okay, so it's the end of semester, and the school just announced that we will be shut down because of coronavirus, and all the courses will be remotely. So all the courses changed to online. And when I'm back to Taiwan, I have to fit into the time schedule, their time schedule. So my course schedule usually from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Oh.
And I got the intern. So my sleeping schedule become a mess. So I'm so stressed, and every time they can see me, like I'm typing my essays and report because I have to hand it in before due date. So like 2 weeks ago, the first 2 weeks in the intern, I'm so busy and I can't sleep because I have lots of things to do.
So when did you fly back to Taiwan?
At the end of March.
Okay, so that's the time when the virus was really serious. Now we're in the second or the third wave, unfortunately. But when you flew back at the end of March, the virus was spreading very rapidly, including in North America and the U.S. and Canada. What was it like flying from Toronto to Taipei during that time when people were really, really scared? What was that like?
You have to wear a mask in for 14 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, 14 hours. You can take off your mask. And if you want to pee, I'm really afraid to go to bathroom.
Wait, you're afraid to touch the walls and the door?
Yeah. Because of coronavirus, everybody is scared. So if anything happened,
Yeah, but you made it back safely, right?
Yeah, so because I wear masks in the whole journey.
Yeah, did you wear gloves too? Full plastic bodysuit?
Yeah. Oh, my classmates, they bought a suit.
The whole plastic suit?
Yeah, like the laboratory thing.
They wore it on the airplane.
Yeah.
And why didn't you do that? You're brave?
No, because if you want to book that, you have to wait until 1 month after.
You mean to buy the suit? They were out of stock.
Yeah, they're out of stock. If you want to buy gloves, they're out of stock. You want to, they don't have masks.
Everything was sold out in Canada.
Yeah, and sanitizer as well.
No sanitizer at all.
Alcohol, no.
So you got on the plane with no sanitizer to bring on board?
No.
Wow, very brave young lady. Was anyone sitting next to you on the plane?
Yeah, my friend.
Oh, okay, you trusted your friend.
I trust my friend.
Yeah, so you don't need to social distance from your friend. When you arrived back in Taiwan, you had to do a quarantine. How many days?
14 days.
And were you just locked in your room, or your family, could they come near you?
My parents rent a small room for me.
They rented a room for you?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to live with you?
Yeah. They don't want to be infected, right?
Did you tell the landlord why you were renting this room? Did they know that you just came in from overseas?
The landlord is my it's my aunt. It's my aunt, so they know.
They were
the
okay.
situation.
They know why
but
you're.
Neighbor.
Don't know.
You don't tell the neighbors.
Yeah.
You just came in from overseas.
If they know, they want to kick me out. I think.
Well, but you're such a nice person. Why would they want to do that? So, what about food? While you were in the quarantine in this special home you rented, people just throw it up the window to you?
No, because they don't know me, so they don't know. I came back from Canada, and for food,
Your parents leave it at the door?
my grandma will deliver it for me.
What a nice grandma.
And
Yeah.
like Food Panda,
Yeah.
Uber Eats.
Mhm.
Yeah. Those
Yeah,
are
so
really
they delivered to the
convenient.
quarantine lady.
Mhm.
Maybe they didn't know you were under quarantine. Yuan, what about you? So you were at the Arts University
Yeah.
in Banqiao
Mhm.
when the virus hit. What changed at school? What are some of the things the school did differently? How did they change the procedures or what they did in the classroom? What did they do differently?
They blocked the entire school.
Lock the school?
Yeah, they only.
Sounds like being in jail.
Yeah, kind of. They only like open fuse door, the back door and the front door. And when you go in, you must take the temperature
Mhm.
test. And if you're under 37 degree,
You can get in?
yeah, you can get in. But if you're like over it, ta-da, sorry.
So if you don't want to go to class, you could just make yourself hot and then tell the
Yeah.
teacher, sorry, I failed
Yeah.
the temperature check. Did you do that?
No, I'm a good student, so.
Oh yeah? You want to tell us your grades? No, so
That's a
just
secret. Yeah, keep the two of us. And also, we have like over 15 students, over 50 students who will be a Longdi top teaching class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no go to class. It's not allowed because it's too much people. Afraid to like infect some virus. Something.
So what was the arrangement that the school used for these big classes? Just cancel the classes?
They just turn into online classes.
And what was that like?
I can do everything I wanted. Just open your cell phones or your laptop.
So you didn't really pay attention?
I do, actually. I can eating my dinner or my lunch, and teacher was talking to us, though. But I don't think that's a good situation for us to study. I prefer more to be on class face-to-face.
Mm-hmm. Paying, be honest, and Yuan, please, you also be honest with this
Okay.
question too. Do you think all your professors who you had online class with, are they comfortable doing that? Are they good at it? Or were some of them really struggling to teach a class online?
They're struggling teaching on class.
Why?
Because they want more interaction with classmates. But if you are online, you are teaching online, like me, students, I don't want to turn on my webcam because I can do what I want, right?
Well, you should be paying attention to class, so I don't know why you can't turn on the webcam.
Not
Maybe you
that,
have a,
like, I
maybe
don't
you have a,
want to,
maybe you have a
right?
good excuse because it was the middle of the night and
Yeah.
you're in your pajamas and you don't want everyone to see
Yeah.
that. But was it required? Was it a rule that you had to have your webcam on for the teacher to see you?
That's say that professor will say, if you can, please turn on your webcam.
Oh.
But I
That's a little creepy, but
but like I won't turn on it, right?
Okay.
Because okay, pajama is one reason, but another thing is I will fall asleep.
Well, you know, since you're in Taipei, you could have turn on your webcam and give them like some very exotic setting, to show that you're really in Asia. Have something very, very unique to Taiwan in the background, some calligraphy or, something like that. So you could have really shocked them with something.
But it's in my house. I got some privacy, right? There's one thing, like one time I was in class and I just totally fell asleep and
With the camera on or off?
off, but like
Were you
professor
snoring?
Huh?
Did you start
Oh
snoring?
no. But like Professor want interaction, so she called like every person to answer her questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I already slept, right? So
So they said, Pei?
yeah,
Pei?
like 3 times or 5
Nobody
times.
answered.
Nobody answers. And when I woke up and I saw my like phone, I checked my phone. And here's a bunch of message
From your classmates, your
from my
friends.
classmate.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like, Ping, yesterday, professor just calling you, but you didn't answer it. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. So that's just, yeah, right?
Too
So
tired.
next time I just called, like, I told my professor that I'm sorry because of jet lag. I can't stay on midnight because tomorrow I got intern, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they understand, so.
Yeah, I think good professors will understand. You know, there's a saying in English, there's no bad students, there's only bad teachers. Yeah, so next time a professor says something to you that you don't like, or they give an assignment that's unclear, you say, hey, professor, come on, you know, there's no bad students, there's only bad teachers. Pei, when are you going to go back to Toronto? I mean, what's the plan for the upcoming semester?
Plan for upcoming semester?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not planning back to Canada for now.
Why not? Are the classes are still going to be all online?
Yeah, because school already sent all students to all the student email that announced that for the next semester, next 2 semesters.
Next 2 semesters.
2 semesters. All the courses will be online as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't have to go back, right?
Mm.
Because Taiwan's really safe.
Yeah.
But I want to go back as well.
Why? What do you miss there?
Freedom.
What, Taiwan? Okay, compared to that big country next door called China, Taiwan is really free. What kind of
yeah.
freedom do you have in Toronto that you don't have in Taipei?
To live with my parents.
Yeah.
I can go out
No
at
parents.
night.
Well, you can't go. Well, you shouldn't be going at night. You're out at night. You're too young to be going out at night. You should be studying. Don't you know that?
Studying? No.
Yes.
No way.
Well,
I already
you know,
turned off my
you could tell your parents that you need your own private little apartment because your coursework is so intense that it's distracting to live with your parents. You need to be on your own in your own little study bubble.
Or maybe stay my place for excuse to go out or something.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, you could try that, or you know, just spend your own money on your own little place.
But our intern doesn't have any money.
Yeah, this is an unpaid internship. Well, you could,
Yeah.
you could complain to the boss about that. not to me. What about at your university, UND? Have they said anything will be different next semester because of the virus, or everything is just going to be fairly normal, or as we say in English, business as usual?
Yeah, now it's getting more usual. Yeah, how to say? Now it's getting more normal then. No block anymore, no temperature test anymore, just like usually.
Yeah, business as usual then.
Yep.
Yeah, but no foreign visitors.
No, they're not allowed into Canada.
It's kind of difficult. You got to quarantine and fill out a lot of
Yeah.
forms and stuff like that. You got to write down everyone you met.
Yeah.
They'd have to submit your name to the government.
Prepare ID card to every places.
Payne, we're almost out of time, so very, very quickly, and then Yuan, I'll ask you the same question.
Sure.
In your remaining time in university, what is one important goal you have?
For now, graduating.
Graduating, yeah, that's a very good answer. Yuan, how about you? And don't say graduating. What is one more thing you want to accomplish during your remaining time in university?
My last homework from graduate. That's the graduate program.
You have to do like a project, like a big project.
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
I wanted to do a radio show.
A radio show.
Yeah.
Okay, what's it going to be about?
Not sure yet.
Not sure
Figure
yet.
it out.
Okay, well, good luck with that, Yuan.
Okay.
And Payne, good luck with graduating. Oh, I'm sure it'll be no problem for you. And Payne, as much as we like to have you in Taiwan, I do hope that you'll get the chance to go back to Toronto and finish your classes in person. And hopefully the virus situation will improve. Guys, it's been so much fun to have you on the show, the interns, but I won't just call you the interns, I'll say your names.
Okay.
Yuan, thank
Hi.
you.
Thank you so
Don't
much.
say hi, you have to say goodbye. It's the end of the show.
Goodbye, though. Don't
Payne,
miss me.
thank you for being on the show as well.
Thank you, Ross.
You've been listening to Residence Messenger on Taipei Broadcasting Station. Have a great weekend.
Bye.